Hey guys, it's Naya Calderon from NWC Counseling. I am a clinical counselor. I own a private practice in Columbia, and I hop on every Thursday to talk with you guys about different areas and topics involving mental health, our wellness, living and feeling good, and controlling our emotions. And this month, our series has been Moms for the month of May. So we've focused on all things moms, and we've talked about the word mom. We've broken it down to MOM, and we've just used it for a lot of different things. So the first week we talked about mom was managing our moods. The second week we talked about managing our minds. And then we talked about managing our mouths. And so this week we're talking about managing our morals. And I know that you're probably looking at the title of this and thinking, why do you have the F-bomb in here? And we're talking about morals. What kind of parent are you? What kind of person are you? But I am a person that kind of is able to talk to people and resonate with people on different levels. I think that's what makes me a pretty awesome counselor. I don't judge people because you may say, I have these morals and your behaviors may look like this. I actually help people to work together to figure out how to combine those things so that you're living the way your morals or what you say you value. So something real quick I want to tell you guys about really fast nasty is there is a book called, oh my God, I'm going to forget it. It's by Sarah Knight. I think it's in our resource center. If you go to my website, www.nwccounseling.org, click resources, you'll find it there. It is like how to not give or like the magic art of not giving an F. I'm going to say F because, I am in Facebook and so I need to be kind of careful what I say, but it's a really good book. I read that book while on vacation I think last year, and the book talks about a topic of the book they talk about is having an F budget, which basically means there are certain things that you need to care about or that you do give an F about, and there's certain things that you don't give an F about. So for the sake of saying things and being appropriate today, I'm just going to say a flying squirrel. Okay, so there's things you give a flying squirrel about and there's things that you don't give a flying squirrel about. And so sometimes as women, we get really overloaded, especially as moms, with all the responsibilities and all the things that we think we're supposed to do that we take on way too much and we overfunction. So one of the things that I want to talk about today is how to manage our morals, which means how to keep your values in line. And I want to share with you guys a quick activity that I do with a majority of my clients that come to see me that have a lot going on and really are struggling with figuring out what's important to them and what they want to teach and what they want to show the world is valuable to them. And so I talk to them about their values. So real quick, I want to go through a few steps so that you can kind of figure out what are the things that are important to you, and you can use it as a lens to be able to say, you know what, this area is not important. I'm not going to put so much energy in it, or quite frankly, I'm not going to give a flying squirrel about it, So let me look real quick. I have my notes right here for you guys. So as moms, we have to be mindful that there's little eyes watching us all the time. I talked about this in our last weeks when I said how to manage our mouth. People and kids, the kids are looking at you, and whether or not you say something outwardly or directly to your kids, what you don't say, they also hear as well. So in that, we're always teaching people how to treat ourselves, how to treat other people based on those things. So we have to be understanding of our values and what's important to us. So something that I like for people to do when they come in is I have them to brainstorm, the first step, have them to brainstorm all the values that if you were to have a family or if you were to meet someone, you would want them to know about you. So a lot of things people say are maybe like family or God or their health or, a lot of fluffy stuff. But then really start to brainstorm, really start grinding it out. What are a lot of things that are important to you? Financial, having money, being stable, honesty, respect. Really start to think about things that matter to you. Now, the thing that I tell people what's important about this activity is that you want to make sure these things are important to you. So just because your parents thought that maybe God was very important to them or spirituality was really important to them doesn't necessarily mean that's something that you really value. So you need to make sure you find something that resonates with yourself. Once you brainstorm these things, you're going to cut the list between 5 and 10 things. So you want to have at least like 15 things written out. Just brainstorm like back in school, put on your thinking cap. But you want to cut that list to about 5 things that are really important to you. That's a really interesting activity. Having people to write things that are important to them and then have them to eliminate a lot of things to get down to the 5. That is really good work right there because you're seeing what's really important to you. And then what you want to do after you have those 5 things is you want to define like what they mean in a very simple way. So I tell people you want to define these things in a way that maybe a child would understand. So let's say you have love is one of your values. You need to define what love is in a very simplistic way. Don't make it really sexy. Don't say anything with a lot of big words. What at the core of your value is it? So for me, creativity is what's important to me. That's a very big value to me. I need to be creative. When I'm not creative and when I'm stifled in my creativity, just everything else just go, you know, for me, at least personally. So for me, creativity is exploring new things. That's what it means to me. When I get to be creative, I get to explore new opportunities, new adventures, new ideas. But essentially, it's exploring new things. Very simple, a 6-year-old could understand that. So you want to take your values and make them very simplistic. That way you understand what exactly you're talking about when you say this is something that's really important to me. Now, this is what is really awesome about this activity. Once you finish that, you'll have 5 things that are very important to you. The behaviors, the people that you spend time with, if they do not fall in line with those 5 things, you need to really reevaluate those things. These values are like your morals. They are what's important to you. They're your moral compass. They help you to stay focused on being authentically you versus anybody else. And if you have, so let's say in their honesty is one of your values, but you have a partner that continually lies to you, you need to reevaluate that. You need to realize that you don't have time for that in your F budget. Your flying squirrel budget can only contain so much BS, and if that person is telling you lies, it's gonna conflict with your values. The longer you stay in a relationship with that person, even if they are the child's father, the more conflict you're going to have, the worse things might end up being without the effective help of like professional therapy or having someone to talk to or having someone to make changes with. So you really have to think about that. You really have to evaluate that, because if you have a lot of things on your plate and your budget is really slim, your F budget is really slim, you're gonna find out that you're living a lot of your life for other people or for other things, but not for the value of what's important to you. So I want you to take this activity the next time you have some time to sit down and just write it out really quickly. It is really a great activity. It's mind-blowing. And I tell people it helps them to keep their idea of what's important to them in their mind. It also helps them in making future decisions and making future purchases, in making overall life choices. It's helpful to know what's important to you and not anyone else. That way you know you're doing things within your own F budget and not for other people. So that's important, because your morals are, you know, you want to show your family what's important to you, and you want to help your children learn and grow their own morals as well. So if you found this was helpful, please drop me some comments. Please leave a note. You can send me a private message if you thought this really resonated with you. If you're having trouble figuring out what it is that is important to you, you can always, if you're local, come into the office and speak with me, or you can go on the website and look for some coaching opportunities with teletherapy, or, you know, something like this face-to-face over the computer if you're far away. To be able to get that information, be able to start living in an authentic way and feeling good about who you are. That's at the core of what I'm trying to do for a lot of people out there. In that being said, if you haven't already, you can join our Perfectly Imperfect community, where we're always trying to help people to learn, to grow, to accept themselves, to learn more about themselves, to really explore different areas of themselves that they don't generally think about, asking questions, putting things out there, you know, helping people to take some time to think about who they are and to love and start to accept themselves and starting to grow and empower other women. So if that's something you're interested in, you can just visit our group tab up above, and you'll be able to sign up for that there. It's free, there's no cost, and it is a private group, so once you are in there, it's private. We're not putting anybody's business out there, so it's really, really a great safe place that we're creating. I will be starting our next series in June, and I know you guys are gonna like it, because it's all about relationships and love, and so that's something a lot of people want us to talk about, and especially in dealing with, you know, falling in love, being in love, managing love, being open to love, being receptive to love, all those good things. So we're gonna start in that in June, so I will see you in June. Bye.